and welcome to the 16th Annual Coretta Scott King Spirit of Ivy Awards, hosted by Alpha Kappa Alpha Sorority Incorporated, Beta Gamma Omega Chapter. My name is Sherelle Roberts-Pierre, and I am so glad to be your host this afternoon. Hello and welcome to the 16th Annual Coretta Scott King Spirit of Ivy Awards, hosted by Alpha Kappa Alpha Sorority Incorporated, Beta Gamma Omega Chapter. My name is Sherelle Roberts-Pierre, and I am so glad to be your host this afternoon. Listen, this coronavirus pandemic has changed all of our lives in so many ways, but the pandemic did not stop amazing women from doing exceptional work. And that's why Alpha Kappa Alpha wanted to continue our tradition of honoring those women and community organizations who exhibited the strong and enduring spirit of the Ivy. So I want to ask you to take a moment, stop, share this broadcast, tag a couple of people. We want to make sure that everybody gets to see the work that these wonderful women and great community organizations have done. Thanks so much for taking a second to do that. Now, I want to take a minute to introduce two very special ladies who have worked to make sure that they are leading the helm in getting this show on the road. I'm talking about Beta Gamma Omega President, Ms. Sharmika Bacon, and our second Vice President, Ms. Jasmine Jones.
Good afternoon, everyone. I am Sharmika Bacon, President of Alpha Kappa Alpha Sorority Incorporated, Beta Gamma Omega Chapter. Thank you so much for tuning in to the 16th Annual Coretta Scott King Spirit of Ivy Awards. Our chapter is releasing power. The unforeseen and unfortunate effects of 2020 took us to a place of devastation. Many were faced with job loss. Some battled health issues, faced death, depression, while others confronted fears, healed from traumas, all with limited access to friends and family. But still, we rise. Will there be a Spirit of Ivy Awards, everyone asks? Why, yes. Fantasia sings a song. It was necessary. It was necessary not to let this award celebration fall by the wayside. It was necessary to acknowledge those women that lifted others up when they could barely lift up themselves. It was necessary to show how women can empower other women. It was necessary to show how there is power in perseverance. I am honored to acknowledge all of the beautiful women today that fought through the difficult times and released their power. Again, I'm Sharmika Bacon, President of Alpha Kappa Alpha Sorority Incorporated, Beta Gamma Omega Chapter. Sit back, relax, and enjoy the show.
Good afternoon. My name is Jasmine Jones. I am the second Vice President, Fundraising Chair of Alpha Kappa Alpha Sorority Incorporated, Beta Gamma Omega Chapter. Many years ago, two of our devoted chapter members, Samantha Anderson and Dana Branham, and their committee had the idea that women within the community needed to be recognized for all of their hard efforts and contributions to their community. These women would exemplify the spirit of Ivy, strength, and endurance in honor of our sorority sister, Coretta Scott King. As of today, we have awarded 90 women in organizations from right here in our community. Today, during Women's History Month, we honor these phenomenal women virtually, for they have displayed the power of perseverance while serving with purpose and excellence. We have observed during trying times women continue to break glass ceilings. The first female Vice President, Kamala Harris, was sworn into office by Supreme Court Justice Sonia Sotomayor. Dr. Kizzmekia Corbett was at the forefront of the development with the COVID-19 vaccine. Just as they have shattered barriers, we want to continue to recognize outstanding organizations, educators, community leaders and partners, business owners, connectors, single mothers, young entrepreneurs, and those with creative talents in the performing arts as they release their power. I hope you enjoy the 16th Annual Coretta Scott King Spirit of Ivy Awards.
During this award ceremony, we are going to honor women who are making people's lives and their communities better. But we also want to honor the next generation of change makers and give them a boost by awarding them the Joyce Dishman Owens Scholarship. To present that award is her daughter, Jennifer Giles.
Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. This year's Spirit of Ivy Award celebration is the power of perseverance. The Joyce Dishman Owens Scholarship recipient, Miss Leah Blakemore, is persistent in sticking to her plan of furthering her higher education. She is a sophomore at Kentucky State University with a 3.65 grade point average, with a major in nursing. Despite the COVID-19 pandemic, Ms. Blakemore returned home to the south side of Chicago, where she has volunteered to assist with COVID patients at one of the local hospitals in Chicago. I'm sure you would agree that this shows persistence in adhering to a course of action, a purpose per se. My mom, Joyce Dishman Owens, loved biology. Matter of fact, all sciences. The research and all she was able to accomplish as a proud student at Kentucky State. Mom loved the Mighty Thoroughbreds. There is no denying her love for Beta Zeta chapter, KSU, and Beta Gamma Omega chapter here in Lexington. It gives me great pleasure today to announce that the Pearls of Service Foundation has selected Ms. Leah Blakemore as the recipient of the Joyce Dishman Owens Scholarship in the amount of $1,000. Ms. Blakemore has met and exceeded our criteria for this scholarship. Congratulations, Ms. Leah Blakemore. We know that you'll make an excellent nurse.
I would like to give a huge thank you to the Ladies of Pearl Service Foundation of Alpha Kappa Alpha Incorporated, Beta Gamma Omega Chapter, for giving me the opportunity to win a Joyce Dishman Owens Scholarship. With this scholarship, it will help me on my journey to becoming a nurse in so many different ways. Once again, thank you.
During this past year of uncertainty, sickness, and loss, there have been men and women who have been working tirelessly to keep us safe and well. I'm talking about our frontline workers. And this afternoon, Alpha Kappa Alpha and member Vita Stewart are here to honor them. Message to those who served and are serving on the front line. Spirit of Ivy acknowledges your selfless acts. With your perseverance, you have made lasting impacts. When our world as we knew it fell apart, you kept us going as our soul and our heart. Thank you doesn't truly begin to suffice how we truly appreciate your sacrifice. You were on the front line. You became our lifeline. We witnessed your tenacity day after day without thought of putting yourself in harm's way. You went into action and saved so many lives. In our adversity, it was you that helped us to thrive. On your shoulders we were carried, we were lifted up. Healers who stood tall in the midst of our bitter cup. You were on the front line. You became our lifeline. Your loyal service did not go unnoticed. It was illuminated before our eyes. It inspired us to do better, united us in focus to human ties. We honored your oath and allegiance. You went the extra mile. You did it so gracefully and in perseverance style. We are stronger today because of your relentless dedication. Thank you for supporting us through the healing of our nation. You were on the front line.
You are our lifeline.
Thank you for joining us at the 2021 Spirit of Ivy Awards. Frequent guests know we always offer great shopping for a good cause, and this year is no different. Please participate in our virtual auction using the information on the screen.
Now, this is the part of the show we have all been waiting for. It's now my pleasure to introduce to you this year's recipients of the Coretta Scott King Spirit of Ivy Awards. Now, this year is going to be a little bit different because you are going to get to hear from each of the recipients, and you'll get to see a snapshot of them receiving their awards during a socially distant and CDC compliant ceremony.
The 2021 Spirit of Ivy Business Owner honoree is Tiffany Belfield El-Amin. Through her business, she's worked with communities to teach about the importance of science and agriculture when it comes to gardening. She's also a doula of 12 years. She's the owner of a business called the Floating Lotus Doula Services, and she helps support and advocate for mothers during all stages of motherhood. Tiffany has spent the last 3 years working on the issue of food justice. She and her husband purchased Alfalfa Restaurant in downtown Lexington just last year. Tiffany's love for people, community, and local food is the mission behind her work. The 2021 Business Owner honoree, Tiffany Belfield El-Amin.
Hi, I'm Tiffany Belfield El-Amin, and I am the owner of Blue Estates LLC, the Floating Lotus Doula Service, and I'm co-owner of Alfalfa Restaurant with my husband, Raleigh El-Amin. We decided to take a leap in business in 2020. There was a need for representation of not only Black faces, but Black women faces in power. Being a power movement with Black ag and Kentucky agriculture, I stepped it up a notch. We bought alfalfa to strengthen our local food system. It has been mighty strong. It has been something that we've had to work through, but we have been a representation to our community, showing that this is what you can do. You can be downtown, you can service the people, and you can be prosperous in the middle of a pandemic. The Floating Lotus, it went skyrocketed because people want to birth at home, and I was able to provide a program to moms all over Kentucky and Northern Kentucky and Cincinnati to be able to birth at home and be comfortable birthing during the pandemic, because COVID scare was real and people were afraid to go to hospitals, and Black mother mortality rate is high. And so I did what I could with all the things that I do to make sure that everybody was safe during COVID. And then Blue Estates, the elderberry syrup and the teas rocketed during the pandemic, and I took took what I learned from being an entrepreneur in a Black woman business and just showed other women that they could also be. My daughter started her own business. My youngest daughter works with us in all these. And so it's just been a wonderful 360 in the middle of all the craziness. And to get an award in all of this, it just really shows that strength and perseverance and family and your ancestors and listening to your gut can really get you far. So I appreciate this. I love this. And thank you.
The Spirit of Ivy 2021 Outstanding Educator Honoree, Ebony Hutchinson. Ebony Hutchinson is currently the principal at the Promise Academy at William Wells Brown Elementary. She believes that every child deserves a champion, an adult who will never give up on them, who understands the power of connection, and insists that they become the best that they possibly can be. Ebony is a proud member of Delta Sigma Theta Sorority Incorporated and a dedicated educator. Our 2021 Outstanding Educator Honoree, Ebony Hutchinson.
Growing up, education was always top priority. Christmas and birthdays were always books or a math toy. My father was my first Black history teacher. If you're going to be sick, don't be sick close to a school day that's close to the weekend. And homework and other school extracurricular activities were always more important than going or hanging out. My parents instilled in me at a young age that quitting is not an option. Although there may be many failures along the way, you use those as stepping stones to create your path to success. These have been life lessons that I've instilled in my own personal children and continue to ingrain in my school children. Every child deserves a champion, an adult who will never give up on them, who understands the power of connection and insists they become the best they can possibly be. Rita Pearson. Be the change, change the world. These quotes are signature lines in my email and quotes I live by daily. I have watched Rita Pearson's TED Talk probably a million times. My current and former colleagues will agree. Every day I strive to be a champion for my children, continuing the lessons my parents taught me, that quitting and failure are not options. The relationships and connections I built with every class, every student, every family, every teacher, and every staff member I've come in contact with have built me into the educator I am today. Perseverance has always been an essential part of who I am. The pandemic has been trying, but the goal remains the same. Every child deserves a champion, an adult who will never give up on them, who understands the power of connection, and insists that they become the best they can possibly be.
The 2021 Spirit of Ivy Single Mother Honoree is Cassandra Brown. Cassandra Brown says her sons are her life. She's the proud single mother of two young men, Robert Brown, 10 years old and in the 5th grade, and Jace Brown, 6 years old, in the 1st grade. Miss Brown believes that the most important part of motherhood is that she raises kind individuals who will grow up to be productive citizens. Her greatest joy is when her sons communicate to her how proud they are of her. She says one of the happiest moments for her was when she adopted her youngest son. When the adoption was final, her son believes he actually adopted her. The 2021 Single Mother Honoree, Cassandra Brown.
Thank you, ladies of Alpha Kappa Alpha Sorority Incorporated, for the honor of being awarded your single mother for 2021. What a blessing it truly is. I cannot accept this without thanking those who paved the way for me. Mentors, which most of you all ladies are, from Katrina Bowman, who prayed over me and with me when I first had my son. Bridget Rice, who had faith in me when I didn't have faith in myself. When this pandemic hit, she said, "You could do it, now get to it." To Samantha Anderson, who taught me how to hide presence openly, and Jennifer Dishman Giles, who taught me how to and still teaches me and encourages me on healthy, nutritious meals in such a short time. It is a blessing to be acknowledged for the hard work that I'm trying. And I don't feel like I'm a single mother. I'm part of a village. And I'm so honored to be recognized by you ladies. And I pray that you continue to pray for me and my small family. Thank you so very much.
Ladies and gentlemen, introducing Michaela Brown.
Greetings, my name is Michaela Brown and I am your Miss Fashionetta 2019. When day comes, we ask ourselves, where can we find light in this never-ending shade? The loss we carry, a sea we must wade. We brave the belly of the beast. We learn that quiet isn't always peace, and the norms and notions of what justice isn't always justice. And yet the dawn is ours before we knew it. Somehow we do it. Somehow we've weathered and witnessed a notion that isn't broken, but simply unfinished. We, the successors of a country and a time where a skinny black girl descended from slaves and raised by a single mother can dream of becoming president only to find herself reciting for one. And yes, we are far from polished, far from pristine, but that doesn't mean we are starving to form a union that is perfect. We are striving to forge a union with purpose, to compose a country committed to all cultures, colors, characters, and conditions of men. And so we lift our gazes not to what stands between us, but what stands before us. We close the divide because we know to put our futures first. We must first put our differences aside. We lay down our arms so we can reach out our arms to one another. We seek harm to none and harmony for all. Let the globe, if nothing else, say this, that even as we grew, we grieved, that even as we hurt, that even as we tired, we tried, that we'll forever be tied together. Victorious, not because we will never again know defeat, but because we will never again sow division. Scripture tells us that everyone shall sit under their own vine and fig tree, and no one shall make them afraid. If we are to live to our own time, then victory won't lie in the glade. But in all the bridges we've made, that is the promised glade, the hill we climb. If only we dare. It's because being American is more than a pride we inherit. It's the past we step into and how we prepare it. We've seen a force that would shatter our nation rather than share it, would destroy our country if it meant delaying democracy. And this effort very nearly succeeded. But while democracy can be periodically delayed, it can never be permanently defeated. And this truth and this faith we trust, for while we have our eyes on the future, history has its eyes on us. This is the era of just redemption. We feared at its inception. We did not feel prepared to be in the heirs of such a terrifying hour. But within it, we found the power to author a new chapter, to offer hope and laughter to ourselves. And while once we asked, how could we prevail over catastrophe? We now assert, how could catastrophe prevail over us? We will not march back to what was, but move to what shall be. A country that is bruised but whole, benevolent but bold, fierce and free. We will not be turned around or interrupted by intimidation, because we know our inaction and inertia will be the inheritance of the next generation. Our blunders become their burdens, but one thing is certain. If we merge mercy with might and might with right, then love becomes our legacy and change our children's birthright. So let us leave behind a country better than the one we're left with. Every breath from my bronze-pounded chest, we will raise this wounded world into a wondrous one. We will rise from the golden hills of the West. We will rise from the windswept Northeast, where our forefathers first realized revolution. We will rise from the lakefront cities of the Midwestern states. We will rise from the sun-baked South. We will rebuild, reconcile, and recover. And every known nook of our nation and every corner called our country, our people diverse and beautiful will emerge battered and beautiful. When day comes, we step out of the shade, aflame and unafraid. The new dawn blooms as we free it. For there is always light, if only we're brave enough to see it. If only we're brave enough to be it.
Thanks so much for that amazing performance. Now it's my pleasure to introduce to you our second group of award recipients.
The 2021 Spirit of Ivy Community Leader Honoree is Charlene Walker. Charlene Walker retired as Vice President of Multiculturalism and Inclusion at Bluegrass Community and Technical College. Throughout the years, she has organized conferences, seminars, and workshops, as well as presented extensively at state and national conferences on issues related to sexism, racism, and classism. the 2021 Community Leader Honoree, Charlene Walker.
I would like to thank the AKAs for this honor this evening. It is a good feeling to know that you're appreciated even after you retire, but your community service never ends. So I think of Thurgood Marshall when he said, "What is the quality of your intent?" So when I started this work in education, my intent was to help people, and that's what I've always tried to do, and my students are proof of that. My intent was never to get rich, and I never got rich, but I thank AKA for all the rich things they do in the community. Thanks again.
The 2021 Spirit of Ivy Connector Honoree is Jennifer Reynolds. Lexington Council member Jennifer Reynolds is a person that loves meeting new people and working with diverse populations. She was elected to the 11th District's Urban County Council seat in November 2018. She says she is passionate about making sure that everyone in Lexington feels like they belong and have access to the things they need. Our 2021 Connector Honoree is Councilmember Jennifer Reynolds.
Thank you so much to the Alpha Kappa Alpha Sorority Incorporated, Beta Gamma Omega chapter for awarding me this Connector Award. It is an incredible honor. In my council work, I constantly feel that there's always more work to be done. During COVID, I was especially concerned that marginalized populations in the community were not being reached with important messages about the pandemic. I worked diligently with the mayor's office and even the governor's office to try and get more information in Spanish and other languages out to those who do not fluently speak English. I want to thank especially my legislative aide, Miguel Lucero, for helping me share this information. We make copies and we drop them off at various Spanish-speaking businesses. And we made flyers about urgent information, and we networked with leaders in the city. I also helped with Community Action Council and God's Pantry to have food distributions in my district because people were desperately in need of food assistance. When we are faced with a time of crisis like COVID, we have two options: continue with the status quo or step up and help those who are in need. I am incredibly impressed that different groups decided to work together. The government, nonprofits, residents, and all kinds of other groups stepped up to serve those in need. They decided to work together in ways that they hadn't before for the greater good. My hope is that those relationships will continue after COVID, that we do not forget the important work we do to serve the community, and that even when COVID is a memory and 2020 is long past, we will remember the important community outreach lessons we learned, and we will put them to use to serve the most vulnerable among us on a daily basis. Thank you again for this award.
The 2021 Spirit of Ivy Creative and Performing Arts honoree is LaRonda Clay. LaRonda Clay is known to some as comedian Elsie Funny or the Life Insurance Lady. Her mission is to provide young women and teen mothers guidance, letting them know that they can too be somebody. She lets young ladies know that with God and believing in themselves, the sky is the limit. LaRonda says her next goal for herself as a comedian is to be the headliner of a national show. The 2021 Creative and Performing Arts honoree, LaRonda Clay.
Hi, my name is LaRonda Clay. I want to thank you to the Alpha Kappa Alpha chapter for allowing me to have this. This is an honor coming from Coretta Scott King. Y'all, this is a blessing, and I thank God for that because she's a very powerful woman. So I want to say thank you, thank you, thank you. I'm so honored. But also, they asked me to talk about the pandemic. How do I persevere during the pandemic? Well, during the pandemic, I found so many creative ways that I had. So what I did, I used TikTok. And I used my family because I knew family was at home. So I brought the funny on TikTok, different videos. I did virtual comedy just to bring the laughter, because a lot of us were sad, we was hurt, we couldn't see a lot of people. But I thank God for sometimes for TikTok, when they was trying to take it off, it was a meaning for it. So that's what I did to persevere, and I'm going to keep on going, because I can do all things through Christ that strengthens me. Thank you all. I love you all, and God bless you.
Ladies and gentlemen, once again, our entertainment for the evening, Michaela Brown.
Sento nel cuore, sento dolore, sento dolore, c'è la mia pace turbando va nel cuore, sento nel cuore, certo dolore, certo dolore, che la mia pace turbando va, che la mia pace turbando va. Splende una face che l'alma accende, se non è amore, amor sarà, amor sarà. Splende una face che l'alma accende, se non è amore, amor sarà, se non è amore, amor sarà. Sento nel cuore, sento dolore, sento dolore, che la mia pace turbando va nel cuore, sento nel cuore, certo dolore, certo dolore, che la mia pace turbando va, che la mia pace turbando va.
Thank you, Michaela, for that second great performance and for serving as our entertainment for this year's event. Alpha Kappa Alpha Sorority Incorporated Beta Gamma Omega Chapter and the Pearls of Service Foundation would like to thank each of this year's sponsors for their generous support. The proceeds of this program will support community outreach throughout the year. The 2021 Spirit of Ivy Young Entrepreneur Honoree is Shalon Thomas. Shalon Thomas is the owner and lead organizer of Passionate Event Designs. She's a native of Lexington, Kentucky. Shalon created her business to bring breathtaking visual experiences from the mind of people to reality. The 2021 Young Entrepreneur Honoree, Shalon Thomas.
My name is Shalon Thomas, and I just would like to say thank you. Thank you to the organization for just acknowledging me in my entrepreneurship journey. It's such an honor to receive an award of such. I also would like to just thank whoever nominated me as well. So I just wanted to talk a little bit about, my business, Passionate Event Designs. We are a event design and styling company that specializes in transforming event spaces to give our client a visual, stunning experience. So we want our clients to feel the transformation, and we want our clients to see the transformation, maybe smell the transformation. So we try to tap into all of those human five senses. We have made a pivot during the pandemic. We had to change course several times, but that was a good thing. We used those lemons to make lemonade, which allowed us to slow down, maybe kind of look into our systems and change things, maybe how we do our client onboarding process. So we just use that time very wisely to sign up for workshops, get more education on our skill set. And so that was wonderful. We did a lot of team building and team strategy solutions. And then we also learned how to expand on our balloon designs, which was really nice to offer for the pandemic. We offer balloon structures of all kinds that are social distance safe, and they're contactless. We just deliver them at any doorstep. I mean, they're perfect for any celebration as well. I also have a lifestyle brand called Do It Afraid, which is just a brand and a motto that I kind of came up with, but I actually live by. And a lot of achievements, a lot of lessons that I've learned has come from out of doing things afraid. And my most valuable lessons have came out of doing things afraid. So I decided to inspire others to do things out of fear. And you may not be an entrepreneur, but you may want to start that new career or take a leap of faith on, going back to school or whatever that is. But just do it. Just try it. I promise you. And then also, I just want to inspire people and empower people to just do what's on their heart and make a difference and be that change that the world needs.
The 2021 Spirit of Ivy Outstanding Organization is the Central Kentucky chapter of Jack and Jill of America Incorporated. Jack and Jill of America Incorporated is an organization of mothers dedicated to raising the next generation of African American leaders while advocating for and enhancing the lives of all children. The organization is committed to accomplishing its mission through diverse programs focused on leadership development, community service, legislative advocacy, cultural exposure, and philanthropic giving. As of December 2020, the Central Kentucky chapter of Jack and Jill has raised more than $300,000 and helped 300 students graduate. The 2021 Outstanding Organization, the Central Kentucky chapter of Jack and Jill of America Incorporated.
Hello, my name is Dion Griffin Hall, and I serve as president of the Central Kentucky chapter of Jack and Jill of America Incorporated. Jack and Jill of America Incorporated is a national organization of mothers who are dedicated to raising the next generation of African American leaders while enhancing the lives of all children. We work to accomplish our mission through diverse programs focused on leadership development, cultural exposure, community service, legislative advocacy, and philanthropic giving. The Central Kentucky chapter of Jack and Jill is proud to serve and support the Lexington community alongside the members of Alpha Kappa Alpha Sorority Incorporated, Beta Gamma Omega chapter, in service to the African American community both here and nationally. Our organizations have a history of collaboration and cooperation, and like you, in spite of the pandemic, our families continue to serve our community through work such as mass drives benefiting African American firefighters, food drives for food insecure college students at Kentucky State University, our annual Breakfast with Santa conducted virtually, and many other events on behalf of the 20 families represented by the Central Kentucky chapter of Jack and Jill of America Incorporated. We thank you for this honor and recognition, and we are proud to work alongside you to make Central Kentucky a better place.
The 2021 Spirit of Ivy Outstanding Community Partner Award goes to Rector Hayden Realty. This local realty organization has helped to facilitate the work of Alpha Kappa Alpha Sorority Incorporated, Beta Gamma Omega chapter over the years. Rector Hayden, thank you for your service to the community.
Hi, I'm Rhonda Richardson with Rector Hayden, and I'm delighted to be here to accept this award We really appreciate the relationship that we've established and that we could be a small part of Alpha Kappa Alpha's success. So we have a motto, who you're with matter. We're glad that you chose us as a location for your meetings. We look forward to continuing that relationship.
Congratulations to all of the outstanding women and organizations who received awards tonight. A special thank you to all of our sponsors and donors. The proceeds of this ceremony will go to sponsor community service initiatives and scholarships. You can donate now by visiting the website on your screen. On behalf of the women of Alpha Kappa Alpha Sorority Incorporated, thank you for attending our virtual Coretta Scott King Spirit of Ivy Awards. We look forward to seeing you in person next year. Be safe and well until then. Thank you.